Let us see what iDubbbz has officially hit. Why he has
The
officially
iDubbbz
hit rock
situation
bottom.
has gotten much worse.
Is it
iDubbbz
is the
has just
creator question?
responded to
Oh,
the
is it
clip
because of that? Yeah,
Ethan
that
getting
stuff.
sent
Yeah,
human
that
skulls
stuff
in the
too
mail,
came
and he
out
ends
too.
up laughing about it. Apparently, his empathy meter was empty today. In response to this, Ethan actually exposes iDubbbz's dating history and the fact that Anissa was his first girlfriend. Now, remember last video how we saw Hassan and friends reacting to the shooting of 2 Israeli diplomats, saying that they were
He got
genuine
banned
in their
today,
actions? Well, Ethan
apparently,
is
because he
rightfully
was
really
reading
mad about
the
that,
manifesto
and he
of
talks about it on
the
their
shooter.
podcast. We also have the daily Hassan meltdown calling Asmongold a cockroach and losing his mind at the thought of mainstream media calling him out. So we're gonna check all of that out. Subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000,000 subs. Check out the playlist and let's begin.
It's funny because
So
the one that got him was reading the manifesto of the shooter when he's already said some pretty horrendous stuff. It's like, oh, okay.
One last question: did you send the skulls?
And he's been running propaganda for terrorists.
What is your opinion on the skulls?
Terrorist organizations too.
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that, especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that. That made it funny.
Yeah, just a death threat to a father, a family.
Yeah. Was it a death threat?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Skulls.com with the serial number still attached.
What? So weird.
The packaging still on it.
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it because I think it was linked to as like was it a response to my content column?
Yeah, very humorous. Just a prank, bro. Sending human skulls to someone's house.
Yeah, I don't know.
iDubbbz tries to make it out like these are toys and not real skulls. Like, oh, it's from a website. But
yeah, and also I don't think Ethan has blamed. I don't think Ethan has blamed iDubbbz for the skulls being sent to his fucking house either. So I don't know why he's acting like this. But okay.
Real human skulls sent to their house. Yes, somebody purchased it, but doesn't mean that they weren't real. I mean, believe it or not, Diet Hassan here actually had a rare moment of honesty and acknowledged that it was a death threat to Ethan and Elo, or maybe their kids. And then he got really serious about it, but then immediately decided to push back any semblance of humanity and settle that it was just a harmless joke. By the way, same guy who was making excuses for the murder of 2 people. Just absolute psychos. So anyways, Ethan responds.
Yeah, what is that guy's name? Noah something? Yeah, that dude's a
Why would you ask that?
He's just as crazy as Hassan, right? He's discount Hassan,
they
basically.
Like that it happened, and then also they say that I'm lying. I sent it myself. It never happened, but also it's funny. And
he's like a Dollar Tree store Hassan.
I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that.
So
that sounds pretty funny to me, bud.
That empathy unlocked thing that you were talking about, I don't believe it anymore. I think there's 0. I don't think you even at 20%.
Well, I don't know what's not funny about receiving human skulls in the mail.
Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that.
Skulls Unlimited, which is the only place, by the way, in the entire America that sells skulls.
Is that
true?
They
are real.
I think so. They're like an exclusive retailer because guess what? It's not easy to obtain human skulls.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, they usually these skulls are obtained by human for research.
Yeah. They are real though. He's talking about it like it's
for
some kind
putting
of
up into I mean, you can make
so
you can make fake
right
bones and stuff like that. But you usually use those that stuff in
Ethan's house. And
schools and stuff, right?
Hilarious. They actually
Educational
don't think it's
field.
serious at all. And in Hassan's own words, I think that's a little brain broken. Honestly, I think iDubbbz needs a chug jug. Like, he must have ran out of empathy. He needs to drink something, gotta refill that fucking meter. But I think it's so disgusting that you can't even acknowledge that this was wrong, that this was seriously messed up. I mean, we literally just had 2 murders committed over all of this sort of rhetoric, and they still think that all of this is a joke. Like, you guys are fucking dangerous, man, the way you just dehumanize people. Now, anyways, in response to this, Ethan decides to expose some information about iDubbbz. Ethan confirms Ian's dating history, was a virgin, never kissed a girl, met Anissa who took his virginity and everything else.
in honor of Hassan, the iDubbbz finding this funny. There's a certain piece of information.
I mean, I
that
don't
I've
think
known
that
about
really
him
matters. I mean, that's
that
just
I've
taking
been holding my
that's
tongue
just taking
because
some jabs at him
I was
for
talking
making.
to him. We were
This is
hanging out.
just
We just did
making
a
fun of
video.
him. That's all.
And I started asking him about his like his love life. I was curious because I've just never seen him. And I was like, do you get out? How do you meet people, you know? Because he's kind of just like living in like, he was living by himself with like his parents or some shit. And I was like, and he was a successful YouTuber. I was like, what's going on, man? I was trying to help my boy out.
That was like his golden era.
In his golden era, yeah.
It's just cool.
And he told me that he had never had a girlfriend. He had never been with a girl. He'd almost practically never even talked to a girl romantically.
Basically, he
right
was a
before
shut-in,
He started dating a
sort of,
he
or
was
nerd.
a virgin.
I guess. I don't know.
He had never even kissed a girl. And then he met Anissa, who took his virginity and everything else.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, he became the bitch,
but,
right?
also,
Basically gave
just
up
the
his
context
name
there.
to
A little funny gag.
gave up his
It's a
name
funny,
for
it's a
hers.
humorous
Or
little
something.
gag. I like the detail. It's funny.
Okay, this was kind of random by Ethan, but I guess everyone is just being really shitty to him, so he's sort of fighting back with the same sort of energy here. I'm gonna give like a sort of controversial opinion here. It's not really, but I think people are really quite brain dead nowadays, so people might get mad at me. But I don't really think it's a bad thing to just be with one person. I think it should probably be encouraged a little bit more because it's better than being with like 50 people and just hating your life, right? And I think ideally you just find
I mean,
your
I
one
don't.
partner and you stick with them and
It's
you
not.
build a life
That's
together.
not the issue,
I think that's
Pegasus.
actually
But
to
sure.
be celebrated, and that's pretty wholesome. And you know, some people want to save themselves or whatever for the one, and I think that's totally fine too. Now, not saying that's what iDubbbz was doing, just saying in
Okay.
general, I feel like this sort of shaming is really weird. But I do get the point he's making. I think the real point he's trying to make
Okay.
is that iDubbbz was starved for attention, and then when he got Anissa, he would basically do anything to make her happy. And I'm guessing he changed his entire personality for her, and he would bend
Basically.
to her every whim, and essentially became a hollow
Well, I
version
mean,
of his
she-
former
she-
self, and that you gotta watch out for, right?
Right? She might be actually the real breadwinner. She might actually have the pants in the relationship while he's just, right, a sad, sad boy.
Never let your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife or whatever change the real you, right? Of course, you can grow together, you can change together, but don't let them change the core values that you know are right? And doing all of this for an OnlyFans girl, that is diabolical.
Yes,
right?
that is
Absolutely
diabolical.
Tragic. You know, I would maybe possibly understand if this was some
That
sort
is,
of unicorn
that is
girl,
an
maybe like
insane
the
way to go
best,
about things, right?
nicest, most amazing person in the world, and you're just so much in love that maybe you change for her, right? But Anissa, really? This trashy, horrible OF girl? Yeah, can't be serious, dog. Reminder to never date an OnlyFans girl, and we just got
Everyone's
this
just
picture of him. It's
tearing
so
into
sad.
fucking
So Anissa responds here saying, "Why are you so sexually invested in us? Do I phone 911? A priest? Who do I call to get him help?" I think it's just a matter of self-respect, to be honest. I think if you're really sort of like secure in yourself and you know your worth and your value, you wouldn't deal with someone like Anissa, right? Who is just tramping all over you, doing whatever the hell she wants.
Well, I mean,
humiliating you
she's
on the
also
internet. You'd kind of just leave and not
telling like their
tolerate any of that
personal
disrespect,
relationship
right?
right out on the
Please gather to pray
out in the
for this
open when
man who
you
wants
should
his B card
probably
and
not be
last
saying
name
like half
to
that
an
shit.
OnlyFans e-girl. Anissa asks the question, why does Ethan Klein hate hot people? Is this hot?
It's
Where
just
do I get this
fucking-
kind of body
So-
dysmorphia? Bro, people are insane. Anyways, after this,
Holy
Ethan
shit.
explains why he decided to expose iDubbbz. I never planned on sharing that story, but after seeing him call the Skulls humorous, I realized that there is nothing they won't say or do, so I'm returning the favor. To be fair, I don't think this is equivalent at all. What Ethan did is very like minuscule in this sense. My boy has not been so much as touched by the opposite sex before Anissa. In itself, it's not a big deal, but in the context of the relationship, I find it very humorous. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying as well. I feel like the story is starting to make much more sense now as to why Ian is giving everything for this girl. So he's a man in his 30s with a single body. If it wasn't Anissa, this could be commendable. iDubbbz chimes in after Ethan exposed his dating history. history. He wants that
Yeah,
incel
they're
audience
basically
back.
saying
Oh
Anissa
my
has
God.
more bodies
Can
than
somebody give this
iDubbbz.
guy a dictionary? Do you know the meaning of that word, bro? Oh my lord. It's a tragically simple explanation for this man's downfall. Literally got groomed by the first woman that gave him the time of day. So did he learn empathy before or after losing his virginity? Oh my god. Ian wants the cuckold audience back. Anyways, after this, Ethan talks about the shooting and how sort of like scared he is.
It's one thing to read and be like, they were murdered and that's horrible. But then you read like he went up, he shot them in the back. And then the girl was trying to crawl away and he went up and shot her in the head twice. And then the guy stood up and tried to help her and he shot him in the head again. Like he assassinated them both in cold blood.
Yeah. This is what we all knew from that first episode after October 7, where you and Hassan were talking about what happened, and Hassan would refuse to show any tiny bit of empathy to the Israeli side.
This is what you've been doing. You've been building intentionally. There's no other outcome that makes sense than this. When you dehumanize an entire group of people, when you describe, Hassan described anyone who's ever had any type of Zionist feelings in their life is not fit to be a dog catcher, who's a Nazi. These people who were murdered, who people are celebrating now online and making excuses for and this and that, there's essentially no difference between them and us. They're just two Israelis that happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think it's really scary how polarized people actually are. And
Yeah, no, I don't. Honestly, given the nature of all this shit, I don't think that. I'm pretty sure that was targeted. Wrong place at the wrong time. I think that's bullshit. I think that shit was targeted. The fact that you had two embassy members go to a museum and literally get shot right outside, that's shady as fuck. That is super shady.
I think it's really scary how dumb people are, how easily manipulated people are. I've said something similar before, but I think NPCs do actually exist, like legitimate non-playable characters who have no train of thought by themselves, and they just sort of blindly follow some leader. Now, this next part he talks about.
Yeah, then you
Guy
literally
Hassan,
had
you literally had
Palestinian
Noah
activists
Samson
at that
makes a video
museum.
saying,
Right.
Protesting is not
Protesting
working. We know where
for
they
some
are.
reason.
We know where the
Like, what the
propagandists
fuck?
are, and we know, and we need to step it up. We know where they are, and we need to step it up. He refers to that all Zionists as
I hate to say it, but that
also
shit is
Nazis.
weird.
Yes.
Now,
that's
people
shady as
think
fuck.
there's nothing you could do to a Nazi that would be out of pocket, right? Murder all Nazis, right? That's how evil they are. So when
Right.
they say, "Oh, they're Nazis," this is giving
It's like,
permission.
okay, so everything is on the table.
Everything's on the table.
Yeah, no one needs to be on a list. This guy is.
I mean,
fucking
it's the
cooked in
same way
head.
when you
That is,
have
like, the
American
closest
embassy
thing to
members get
inciting
fucking
violence.
got.
Bro is like,
It's
we got
shady
access
as
to the
fuck.
people, the
That's not
government, the
good.
guns. I mean, what does that even mean? That is like one step before telling people to just go out there, you know? We need 24/7 surveillance on Noah. Make sure he doesn't have any access to guns. Also, does anybody find it so ironic that the people who keep talking about Jews negatively are like the other
Yeah,
side
it's
are
literally
Nazis?
these
Like,
people
what is going
on
on,
Twitch
man?
That I don't feel
constantly
safe
talking
because the way that people
negatively
talk
about
me and
people.
Hila being
Like,
the
well, yeah, you're
terrorist
gonna
baby,
get people who
there's
are gonna get
propagandists,
radicalized if you keep fucking
genociders,
talking
right?
negatively.
Everything bad that you could say. They say as far as if you tell from the people who talk about me, I'm as bad as it gets.
I don't know what happened to the left. Like, what happened to inclusion, to understanding different backgrounds and different cultures?
It's the consent. It's the ease. It's the comfortability that
Yeah,
people
there's no
have
right.
with
If there's no
violence against
right, there's no real
Dehumanizing.
consensus among
dehumanizing
these
language
people.
being platformed
We're all
to
fucking
mainstream,
splintered.
And seeing
being
it in-
platformed by
yeah.
New York Times,
Yeah, exactly.
by the CEO of Twitch saying this is his favorite creator.
Yeah. Seeing it on all levels.
The people are comfortable with the idea, and as people get more comfortable, guess what's going to happen?
It really has gone way too far, man. I'm just hoping nobody else gets shot or murdered because, you know, it's honestly getting a little too deep for me.
I'm
You
just
know,
waiting
here to
for
cover
one of the
YouTube
streamers
drama,
to
talk
fucking
about some
pull out a gun
lighthearted
on
stuff,
each other and start
mostly my
fucking
channel's
killing
about
each other,
making
right?
fun of idiots on the
Just
internet,
waiting for
right?
it.
And,
At
these
this point,
particular idiots
there's so
just
many
happen to be
streamers who've
treading
gotten into
that
like
territory
legal
of getting
troubles
super dangerous
because
as
of the
well.
fucking
And I'm a
shit
bit
they've been
concerned for
pulling in the
people's safety,
background
but,
sometimes.
You know, let's just pray that everybody comes to their senses here.
2 pro-peace Jews dead.
What's
Read what they
funny?
were saying.
What were they saying?
What
Show
were
us.
they saying?
Yeah.
Pro-peace is
This guy doesn't know anything. It's always like, oh no, you need to go figure this out, and just until then, trust everything I'm saying.
crazy.
I highly doubt no one knew anything about the victims there. He just wanted to side with the killers, the terrorists, the evil freaks. I will never understand why it is so hard to just disavow murder. Then Ethan reacts to Mike from PA saying that the murders were a setup.
Women recoil when he enters the room. Literally, sand.
The
I'm
murder
telling
was
you,
a set. What do you
sand
mean?
falls
have it on
from women's vaginas like an hourglass.
The
Like an
evidence-
hourglass counting down your fertility.
The
You
evidence
lose
exists.
fertility when he walks in the room with you. your viable egg count drops.
For Israel. And they attacked low
Well, I mean, these guys are all Hassan
Perfect
orbiters,
timing
right?
for
So-
Israel and attacks people that are expendable. They aren't even they're Christians. The Christian Zionists get killed.
Bro, they're Israeli.
What?
completely expendable.
Expendable to who?
He's saying it's a psyop that we sent in our most disposable grunts so that we could have this guy kill them.
Bro, Ethan is ruthless with that egg count shit, bro. But honestly, how is the global rank #1 simp, Mike from PA, saying that Israel sent their own people and killed them? Like, just so it would radicalize people.
I mean,
it's
it's
not
the
surprising
same.
from the side that
I mean, it's the same way how the Ukrainians tried to lie about launching that missile into Poland. And they were all like, oh no, Russia did it. Right. These people are trying to do some shady shit.
only defend Hamas. I mean, they do also kind of use civilians as human shields and stuff. So that logic kind of tracks if you're that brain broken. Anyways, moving on to Hassan molding at mainstream media.
All over the place. If you go into a synagogue,
I like that she didn't even push back, by the way, which is, again, journalistic malpractice. Shouts out to the CNN anchor who was just
Oh, this is where
letting-
Hassan gets
letting
mad
my
because the
man go
ADL
off
calls
and
him out
defame
for
the fuck out of me. Like,
for
what are you
being
doing?
linked to all
There
the
are other
fucking
journalists in your
crazy
on
shit
your
happening.
platform that have literally asked me to go on their shows. There are other journalists on your platform that have done extensive coverage on what I do, including me targeting fucking disinformation and anti-Semitic narratives.
No,
It's
all
not just
those
Donio
all those
Social Media,
outlets
there's plenty other. It's like crazy that
fucking
you just, like,
gas
let him
you
fucking
up.
spit like this.
They don't
Wait a
even
minute,
talk.
Hassan
You
mad
don't.
at
You guys don't
CNN?
even.
Doesn't
You
this
never
guy
even
love the
talk about
mainstream
in those
media?
articles
Oh,
about
wait, it's
your
only when they suck him
political
off.
leanings
Right, Hassan actually
and all
getting
the
a taste of his
terroristic
own medicine
ideology
now.
you
Why don't
spout
just
for
get
like
your
Hamas,
billionaire
Hezbollah,
dad or your
right, and the Houthis,
multi-millionaire
by the way.
uncle. Maybe they'll go ahead and pull some strings for you.
Like,
And
the
then you
bodies
wish
haven't even gotten
9/11
cold yet, and
again
Jonathan
upon
Greenblatt
Americans
goes
and
on
shit. It's like,
CNN to be like, you
get
know
the
who
fuck out of
killed
here.
these- you know who killed these people? Hassan played a big role in this. It's like there is unprecedented amount of overt anti-Semitism out there, and this fucking freak is looking to blame someone like myself for it. You are just such an unserious charlatan, dude. Quit, okay? Resign in disgrace. Disband the organization. Stop doing this.
Of this gamer Hassan Piker, who regularly employs
He's not a gamer.
awful
Please
genocidal
don't.
rhetoric
Please
against
don't
Jewish
say that
people and the
again.
Jewish state. Like extremists.
Like,
Just-
that's so
just call him a
psychotic to say.
commentator.
No, I don't. Okay? No, the fuck I don't. Against Jewish people, genocidal rhetoric that I regularly apply.
I
Also,
think they just
gamer?
call him a gamer because
Gamer?
he goes on
Gamer, I
to
haven't played a
fucking
video game
Twitch
in months.
and talk
Okay,
about his
first off,
political
thank you,
bullshit.
Hassan, for distancing yourself from the term gamer. That is one thing we can all agree on. This is the first honest thing Hassan has ever said. He should not be called a gamer. But anyways, the reason he's mad is that they didn't call him like a journalist or something.
Yeah,
or
a journalist
maybe
or
an on the
yeah.
ground reporter,
Exactly.
which is just funny, honestly. Like they don't take it
Yeah,
that seriously.
they
Anyways, let's
relegated
move on
him to a
Hassan
gamer
calling
instead
Asmin
of like a
cockroach.
journalist or a
Let's all sit
reporter.
together and say a collective
Ah,
thank you to the
sucker.
government for keeping us safe.
Suffer.
Shut the fuck
Suffer.
up, you fucking cockroach. Oh my God! What a
It's
disgusting.
so
little
weird that he
creature
gets
this
so
is.
mad
What
at
a
Asmongold. I think he
disgusting
gets
little
mad at
creature. Thank you
Asmongold
for
because he gets
defending our
more
nation
viewers,
state.
right?
To
Viewers
the Trump
watching him during
administration
his political
for
stuff,
detaining.
and he just gets
So
more
he says thank you.
viewers
Listen to it again.
overall.
Thank you for defending
Excuse
our
me.
nation state.
Finally, that's all we were asking for.
Detaining
Yes.
a Twitch streamer. Asmongold
Yes, that's
is
me.
such a fucking liar on this issue.
What am I lying about?
He knows that I am not a fucking dangerous entity.
But do you think the government knows that? This isn't a music video, Hassan.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what
I
Luffy
mean, it's
would do.
true.
I
It just
believe
seems
what the
like you're
Houthis
just
are doing
showing
is a
propaganda,
good thing.
right? You wear that
Ten-dollar
fucking flag.
No, they have
Didn't
to
he?
check.
Didn't
You
he
didn't
show
get
up in a
arrested
getup
because you weren't.
of
But to
the
say that he does
Hamas,
not act as a
right?
radicalizing
Terrorists
force is crazy when you're
with
talking
with
about
their
supporting or not having a
with their
problem
ski
with
mask
active
and then with
terrorist
their
organizations.
That's what this
fucked
is.
up
Gonna get clipped so hard,
flag
man.
wrapping
Suck
on their
my
head saying "killed the
Shut
Jews"
the
or some shit.
up about clipping, please. Oh my God. Yes, I am talking about white supremacy, okay? Yes.
Can we get an F in the chat for the doggo? What a good boy. But anyways, have you guys noticed
dog
that
has
whenever
to
you
sit
watch
there and
Hassan
take
versus
it.
Asmongold, I noticed that Hassan is always
The dog is
screaming and
suffering.
losing
That's
his
that's
mind,
animal
hurling insults, calling him
abuse.
names.
We need
Asmon is
PETA.
just chilling. He's just
Hello?
effortlessly destroying him in viewership, in the argument, in every metric there is. This is humiliating, man. Just take the L and move on. Now we got some clips of Tectone talking about how he's probably
no.
not going to go to TwitchCon
Hassan will
because he feels
never
unsafe.
take
And
accountability.
I'm so worried.
He will
that if
always
this
say,
behavior
"No, I
isn't
didn't do
addressed,
it.
if this
It's
shit
these
isn't
people
punished
that
fully,
did it. You're just
there's
being
no
a
way
bigot.
I
You're
would
just
go to
being
TwitchCon. Because
racist."
like this is scary shit,
oh,
guys. This is scary shit. I would feel so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, he's called
insisting,
people
knowing how many
rapists
people at that
too,
convention are
pedophiles.
consuming this content. I absolutely would not go.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
that's
he
the
goes
only
around
Pegasus video
slandering
if you're
people
gonna
with
call it
the
a
fucking
Boothie
baseless
Con. That's insane.
accusations.
Wait a minute,
right?
he's watching a legendary YouTuber. That's me, baby. King of the Slop, legendary yapper. Subscribe. But yeah,
And then
honestly,
he's
my
all
advice,
like,
do
"Oh,
not
I
go
got
to
my
TwitchCon.
freedom of
There will
speech.
possibly,
Oh,
maybe,
I'm doing
probably
this
be
for
a
the
mentally ill
Palestinian
Hassan
cause."
fan
It's
waiting
just
there
like,
for you.
dude, shut
Mike
the
from
fuck
PA
up.
is gonna try and throw a punch. My God, he's probably gonna get beaten up by himself. It's like, you know that one episode from
Yeah, these
SpongeBob
guys
where
just
Patrick
try to
just
keep
beats himself up to make
using
SpongeBob
right.
look good? No, but honestly, it's so
They
simple for
just
Twitch
use
to fix
these
this. Ban Hassan and ban every
right
Hassan
issues,
clone.
political
And tell the
issues as a
CEO
shield
to stop
to
gooning
be like,
for
"Oh
he
no,
is
I'm
wrecking
fighting
his
the
brain."
good
Now
fight.
click this video, or
I'm
you gotta
fighting a
get
good
whatever
cause."
this is. Yikes, man! All right, thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Yeah, it's fucking yikes, dude. It's bad. I mean, yeah, see, even Ruined Leon is talking about the same guy. I think this is the guy that was at the scene of the crime when those two guys got shot. The couple got shot. The embassy members. So yeah. This is more Pegasus if you want to take a look at his content. He does more content on basically just drama sort of stuff. He's part of the commentator sphere, right? Just talking about whatever.
There have been a lot of videos.
Let me see. This is. Yeah, if you want to see this one, I'm pretty sure this is about the his take about what's going on about the shooters and the aftermath, right, of the embassy members getting shot.
There have been a lot of videos on the channel very recently that there have been a lot of.
Anyways,